Yo, 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 what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. We give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. Lady Shay, what's going on, baby? Popcorn, what's going on, my guy? First things first, you already know. Hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Thursday. Hopefully everybody was smoothly able to get through their work day. Hopefully the kids was able to smoothly get through the school day. And it looked like it might be a 3-day weekend for some of y'all because of the holiday Monday. So whatever you might have planned, hopefully you keep yourself safe, but also keep yourself visual and vigilant as always. It's coming different times now. Um, Probably gonna be on maybe an hour or so. There's a couple things I want to bounce off. Um, I appreciate everybody that tuned in earlier this afternoon for the conversation. Definitely was a great one that was needed. And if you missed it, catch the replay. Um, Title is clear itself. Guarding yourself. A lot of y'all that really need to start guarding yourself for real. And that's on all angles. Guard yourself, guard your family. Because it's getting real critical right now. I spoke earlier and I kind of misread the balance, so I'm going to give it the right way. Apparently, it was the anniversary of this girl going missing. I had mentioned about a 13-year-old that had went missing, going to walk her dog. I come to find out that, it's the anniversary. She'd been missing since 2014. That's almost 10 years of somebody going away from their parents, which, again, that's still hurtful in all angles because that's a parent's worst fear is missing or losing their child. You have to definitely make sure that even when you are allowing your kids to be out and about in certain circumstances, that they are protected at all costs. And that means even if they are going to do anything as far as even walking the animal, make sure that animal is trained. I had seen some safety training videos recently, and some of them actually look like these was actual attacks that were happening, but it wasn't. You know, but it gives a signal, and it also gives a sign that you do have people who are actually taking that into consideration, making sure that if they do get an animal, dog, or whatever the case is, that that animal is prepared to attack and do whatever necessary, especially protecting the owner and the owner's family. This is why some people, even though they disagree with getting pit bulls and stuff like that, they are probably one of the best lines of defenses when it comes to definitely comes to protecting everybody. And again, the thing about it is, again, it's sad because there are people who be in these facilities or be in the area when certain things take place, and again, they won't think twice to say, you know what, let me do the humane thing, let me do the actual right thing, let me try to avoid something from happening before it actually happens. Again, I seem like we come into this motion of only thinking about self. But see, that'll be your biggest regret and downfall again. Because what if the shoe was on the other foot? You know? And for some of y'all, I don't think y'all would be able to live with yourselves or bear the fact that somebody went missing on your watch or somebody didn't make it back home because, again, it was on your watch. Sorry, but it is crazy because look, again, we in 2024. This girl went missing, and that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. 8 to 10 years of a span of life gone from your parents. You know, she could be a grown up by now if she still is alive. Hopefully, she's not under any of them dire circumstances that we be speaking about when it comes to kidnapping. I've always felt again that there should be no reason why a kid just ends up going missing or a kid ends up getting hurt and there are actually people sitting there in the vicinity. See, again, like I said earlier, and I'm gonna keep saying this because it's the truth. You had more of a balance and a safety net when it came to certain things. You just wasn't allowing things to happen. Again, the worst fear is your child being locked up or your child possibly never coming home. There's some parents who, like I said, they're never going to give up their search. There's some people who refuse to accept certain things neither. So again, that's a pain that a parent can't bear. Now there were certain situations where people who was kidnapped did actually make it home, even if it wasn't right away, but they did reunite with their immediate family, which is again, those are the happiest stories because again, there's so much time frame that's lost. That's too much catching up to do. And there's some people again, like I said, still trying to give hope where most people have given up on hope. No parent, especially no good parent like that, should have to ever worry about that. And see, I misreported it earlier by mistake because I thought this was something recent. You know, it just popped up, and I'm like, okay, that's crazy. But the fact that, again, somebody got to worry about finding their loved ones, horrible pain. Again, you need to guard your family and guard yourself the best way. Danger around every damn corner. We seeing this left and right. Like I said before, we have a problem right now where we have migrants flooding into the states. Some of these crimes and some of these instances right now that I'm about to speak about, it's happening solely through them. Like, we already got enough as it is, but we got to worry about the extra set of violence and mayhem that we don't need. Parents really start getting more in tune with what's going on in your neighborhood. It really is time for you to start knowing thy neighbor. Not so much as loving thy neighbor all the time, but knowing thy neighbor. You're gonna have to. think that is the biggest upset, at least in my opinion. You know, the fact that you have to really be more aware of who's who in your neighborhood, who's visiting your neighborhood, so on and so forth. Because you never know who could be doing what. Now, I'm gonna tell you, some of you parents, this: if your children have been victims in more than one way, and they actually are confiding in you and telling you about this, you really need to do your investigation. And then from there, that's how you know how to react and how to handle the situation. I know it could be difficult because, again, it could be rage happening, especially if you're one of those parents who can't. So, again, when things are being said, really do your due diligence, and then you make your course of action and moves the way you see fit. Wanda, what's going on, baby? Series, what's going on, baby? You already know y'all just tuned in to like button. Um, Again, you have to start guarding yourself. And that means even down to your peace of mind, your tranquility, and if that's your family, you want to guard that to the best of your ability. Because, yeah, we know you can't be around 24/7. But again, your kids should be in some sort of a safety net and a safety zone. No kids should have to worry about ever going to do the simplest things that they normally do and never come back home. There have been situations where young ones have been kidnapped, and guess where they've been at? Within the same community the whole time. Nobody was really looking or actually asking questions or doing any sort of research that they needed to do. Not following your instinct. Even if something don't seem right, you are supposed to say something if you are a citizen. Supposed to say something. Now again, it's not so much as going off of your instinct, just because that's how you feel at that moment. No, you need to do your calculated research and make sure that that's the right decision that you're about to make if you are about to make it. If you are about to call for some reason, make sure that that's actual evidence and proof. So much of that hearsay, you can't always just go by hearsay. Because we've seen a lot of that happen, and then it turned out that it was all lies and rumors and so on and so forth. So again, if you think you know, and if you honestly are sure that you know, then that's when you make the steps that you need to. Because look, there's been situations again, kids have been literally kidnapped and then still been within the realms of the community. It's just nobody cared to really look and really thoroughly investigate the way they should. When something don't fit right in a certain situation and it's really hitting you to the gut, follow that. Oh, you already know, Wanda, everything good, baby. Another work night, but still had to come and bring something. I would have went around 9 o'clock, but it had a few things that really situate here. But nonetheless, still got a word to give out tonight. No matter how long the conversation need to be had. And this is one that is greatly needed again because you have to understand this. There should be no reason why anybody should ever be taken away from their family, especially at young ages. Telling you, it's just, It's sickening. And then the sickening part about it to a degree is, again, it seems like everybody is for self until it happens to them. How do you stop situations like that from happening? Again, start being active. And that means everybody within that realm of the community, I don't care what side of the line you're on, when you see something that don't look right and it don't seem savory, yes, you do what you need to do, your due diligence. And if you have to react the way it would have to be as far as law of the land tactics, then you do what you do. But again, make sure that that's what it is. Because there are some people who do show signs of weirdness as far as things they might do, things they might say, or just the way they move. That don't necessarily mean they on some weird shit, you know. Christine, what's going on, baby? You know, because you forgot, you still got people who suffer from specific illnesses. So yeah, if what might seem weird to you, you should already know 9 out of 10. There's a reason to it. Now, if it's outside of that realm, then you already know it got something to do with drugs, period. And even still, you got to guard yourself. Guard the people around you. Again, you want to get these dogs, you want to get these big attack dogs and everything else. You got to make sure that they actually do what they're supposed to do. And again, just look how long it's been. Now I know, Lady Shay. Look here, just it got to be talked about because it should never be an anniversary of somebody that went missing from their family. No, yeah, man. 1 minute, y'all. Because again, that's not the way anybody should be going. Really isn't. Don't make no damn sense. Just like I was saying earlier about the lady getting attacked in a McDonald's, prime example. Those type of situations should never happen at all. It's time for some of y'all to really start intervening when you know it's time to intervene. And not saying risk your life all the time for something that you ain't fully aware of either. But when you know it's just something that's common logic, nah, you're not gonna allow it to happen. Like prime example, what I was telling y'all about that viral video. Again, I'm gonna use that as a reference because that's normally what would have been happening by this time juncture if we got notion on certain things. There's just certain things you're not going to be able to do and sit around and think that it's going to be okay. It's not okay at all. And again, I don't believe that, you know, you can actually live with yourself if you allow something like that to happen. When it does come down to the safety again, it shouldn't just be safety of your own kids. No, it should be safety of the kids of the community, teens of the community, and shoot, even protection of the elders in the community, because it's crazy. How could you actually, feel good about yourself knowing that you allowed something to happen and you possibly could have helped avoid it? Again, it's about knowing when to intervene and knowing when to fall back. In certain instances, if you ain't fully aware of the background, you know not to jump in harm's way. Because again, we done lost some people behind that, trying to defend somebody, thinking that that person was in the right, and knowing that person was never in the right to begin with. You know, that's why I said you got to guard yourself. I think that's a problem right now. We have really become numb to society. We become numb to being human beings. Even when you say something along those lines, you'll get hate, you get hatred, spews, and everything else. Oh well. These are the talks that you need to have, because again, these are the talks that at some point is going to lead to some sort of resolution and foundation. Now again, you can't care for everybody, because there's some people who got to care about themselves. Then there are other ones that for a fact, if know you got a rapport with them in any way, shape, or form, hey, do the favor when it's done. Do the favor when it's needed. Because again, it could be helping you out with the same exact favor at some point. Lady Shay, if you would have left listening, I would have understood. Because again, I told y'all I might have these talks and these topics. Some might be triggering to some, and I ain't purposely trying to do it. But again, awareness needs to be put on all levels, because now it's getting even more dangerous. Like I said, with the increasing crisis we got going on, you know, who knows what this, like, look at prime example. They finally caught the person. I told y'all the other day it was a subway shooting out here in the Bronx. Um, One person deceased, six others wounded, hurt. Now they caught the kid that did it. The kid was 16 years old. This is another situation of a kid that's well younger than, committing crimes for no reason. Like, what is the motivation behind some of these attacks? That's something. Trying to give me a copyright. Hold on. But this is the problem again. Like, my bad, y'all. Really try to give me a copyright. I don't even know what that song was. Not taking no chances on this. Um, but nonetheless, I'm not getting far off from nothing. So when do we get back to that sense of actually caring when we need to care? Again, it's about knowing when to and when not to. And again, when it's just common logic and it's supposed to be there, you do what's necessary. Now, again, this is crazy. Boy, only 16 years old. And just because of that, we don't know what could be the situation. And 9 out of 10, regardless of what, yeah, you're going to sit up, because, again, there was a loss of life due to your hands. See, look, even at certain points when we knew there was young ones that was doing the utmost, again, we had a balance to say, even if we couldn't stop them, shoot, you're going to end up stopping yourself, and you're going to listen to logic. At some points, you turned yourself the fuck in. Sorry to say it that way. If you did something, hey, stand accountable for your crime if that's the case. You can't cry when it's all said and done, because again, you have ample time to think before you do things. Again, if it's not that critical and crucial to where you have to do something like that, you're not justified for that. If it ain't a justifiable homicide, shouldn't be committed at all. Now look, in this situation right here, even if they think you're gonna let him go, he ain't gonna get let go. I don't know if the boy is a migrant or if the boy is actually from here, but either way, you sitting up for a minute. That's what I'm saying. In certain instances, again, guard yourself and guard your kids. Your kids shouldn't be out here thinking to commit any of these atrocious acts. Now, again, somebody is not going home to their family, and for what? Or for just off of sheer rage and emotion, or just an act of scaredness. There's some people who, again, are not built for this. That life you trying to live, that quote unquote adult life you trying to live, you're not built for that. There's some of you youngins who need to hear this too. Y'all not built for that house. I don't care how hard you might think you be. You're not prepared for that. You are not going to be ready and willing to lose the rest of your precious moments in life outside free. You're not going to do that. Sorry, I don't feel it. It need to be said because it's crazy. Again, you could have possibly took more than one life that day just because of your actions. There's some of you who are being held accountable now. Because this is what used to happen back in the day. Yes, some of you was being held accountable one way or another. Some of y'all just doing things because again, you want to be accepted. You want to be down. You want to prove to people that this is who you are and this is not, it's not always going to end up the way you think it's going to end up. Some of y'all doing things again because you just following. Now, I don't know what the whole situation was, but the fact that they found the boy and he only 16. That's what I'm saying. You about to lose a portion of your life for what? For absolutely nothing. And that's what some of y'all throwing your lives away on. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it is a parent's duty. I'm calling it down both ways. It is a parent's duty to always make sure that they are always protecting their children at all costs. But some of you children need to protect yourselves as well too. And remember the lessons and the teachings that you were taught, especially if it can save your life. I would say for some people, you just gonna literally have to watch yourself because you never know what the hell could be happening. Now, when I find out more about that, I'll definitely let y'all know about it. But that's crazy again. And I don't think that boy even gonna think. Yeah, I don't think he gonna get anything. He ain't getting no scot free from that. And again, it's crazy because it's happening in a place where again you are supposed to be trying to travel and get to and from. The only thing I can say, in my opinion, that I've seen over the course of a little bit, this is just me because I'm from that city. It ain't as much presence as it's supposed to be. That's because a lot of them there's too many damn cameras. But again, these type of tragic situations should never happen. Now again, I'm speaking to those who need to hear it because there's some of y'all that are just moving a certain way because you feel that's just the way you need to move, or you just following behind your crowd of people, like I said. And guess what? That ain't looking good. And some of you that said you're gonna stand and do what's you gonna stand on business when things happen. And some of y'all talk a good game, but when the game is actually on, you see that it's harder than expected. And trust me, at some point you're gonna need help, or you're gonna be calling for it. So again, think about what you're doing. Again, if at any time somebody is not making it home because of your recklessness and your actions, you need to be held accountable and take responsibility. But again, it is time for people to start being more being more conscious, being more aware of your surroundings. When stuff don't look right, hey, if you got to take the necessary steps to protect yourself or protect the family, do what you got to do, because you never know what could be happening. And again, start having safety protocols when it comes to dealing with your kids, dealing with your family members, even those who suffer. Like I said, now again, I seen a poster of an older person, but this person, even from the shot, even from the picture, you can tell that there's something wrong with them. They had been like that forever, and that's dangerous too. You don't want your people to go missing when it's all said and done. You know, it's nothing you could do. Reason why I'm saying guard yourself, but also guard your family, and I'm saying this on all aspects. Again, even down to the school system. If something don't sit right, you ain't gonna want your kid to be in harm's way because of whatever. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working hard in these damn fire departments with their damn sirens, baby. Even on a late night, you gonna hear that. But no, I say that because again, look, we've come to a time now where there's too many instances of random things happening. Some things happen for the good, some ain't happening for the good. The ones that's not happening for the good, that's the problem. You are supposed to guard your main thing, which is peace of mind. And it's hard to at times because you got to look at it. Every day there's something different happening in your life, especially the people around you. There's always something happening. Judge, what's going on? This is what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. Now you want to be setting up prime example for something you didn't necessarily have to do. And again, I've always felt that way. In my opinion, if it's not necessary to do so, don't do it. And if you just scared out your mind, then you need to think twice before you do anything. There's nothing more dangerous than a person that's too damn scared. We've seen this happen on numerous occasions. If you know you're not prepared for anything, especially when it comes down to these real dangerous situations, then you shouldn't be a part of these situations. You shouldn't even take part in it or think about it. Part that wind in the background, like how the weather switch up on the brother, but nonetheless, message still gonna be given out tonight. You already know, Lady Shay, baby. Now, some of the crimes that have been happening, at least in my city, have been because of what I've been speaking about recently, the oversurge and the growing problem. James, what's going on, my guy? I think that's sad. Again, got situations where you got these young ones who just they on the warpath, and some of them are really lashing out because again, nobody's really hearing them. Nobody's trying to help them in the best way. But there are some who don't want the help. They don't care about help. They don't care to live to see tomorrow. And that's sad when you have these type of people running around because you never know what they're gonna be doing or what they're gonna be thinking. And like I said, even if they scared, that's even worse. Give me 1 second. I thought I heard something. Okay, that wasn't on mine. All right. And I think that's crazy. You know, when you know you could do better and you choose not to because you want to be a part of the in crowd so badly, you're only taking away from yourself. So when certain things do happen in life, and you might get stunted as far as even if you was growing some way somehow, put yourself in danger. This is what I'm saying. You gotta remember this, man. No doubt, Lady Shay, appreciate you, baby. I'm sorry, but that's critical right now to really start guarding your peace at all angles. You're gonna need to. Because again, it's the worst type of situation right here. Is that my yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me speak to my supervisor real quick. See what's going on real quick. Brief intermission, y'all. All right. Yeah, my bad. But it's crazy. You got to remember this part right here. There's some things that you are not going to be able to escape, especially if you decide to make that decision. And again, I'm speaking to those who need to hear the scared ones, the unsure ones, the want to be down ones all the time. You got to remember, you got to keep yourself guarded at all expenses as well too. And that means you shouldn't have to worry about looking over your shoulder. You shouldn't have to worry about trying to prove something to anybody about anything. Worry about what you need to worry about. Instead of you focusing on the wrong, start pushing yourself in the light and pushing yourself in the right direction. Do you really think it's worth risking most of your time and your life for what? For nothing? Because that's what y'all getting away with. Absolutely nothing. In certain scenarios, you're going to be sitting up longer than you expect to sit up because there are certain spots that they take the loss of life that serious. There's some of you who need to stop being reckless. But I would also say too, in certain scenarios with some people, again, watch your surroundings. I don't care how you might be moving in life as far as on the safe tip, keep your spirits up, keep everything else up, but mostly keep your awareness up. And watch yourself around certain people. If you feel there's certain vibes there that ain't matching up, you do what you do. Marlene, what's going on, baby? Yeah, welcome to New York City. Yeah, but you gotta remember that. Keep yourself definitely on guard because you never know what can happen. Again, always be prepared for the unexpected. Never know what the unexpected could bring. You might unexpectedly save somebody's life one way or another. Even down when it comes to learning CPR and stuff like that, like I told you, you could be a possible person that could save somebody's life because you know what to do. Danielle, baby, what's going on, baby? See y'all up in here. But again, you gotta think about that. This is not the time no more to really sit back and just keep allowing these situations, you know, to rip apart people. Again, we got to start really coming together. Again, knowing thy neighbor, not just loving thy neighbor. Know thy neighbor too. You never know. Your neighbor could be the one that's doing the utmost. Again, it was about holding people accountable. When you was wrong, you was wrong. And if you had to get dealt with a certain way, you just got dealt with a certain way. Prime example, there was no way babies were allowed to get harmed, shot, anything along those lines, prime example, and don't nobody get tucked into the forefront one way or another. Oh, shoot. Oh, snap. My bad, y'all. I got action. No, I don't. Oh. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I was scared them off. Nothing says New York City like a rat running past you in the dark. But it's sad though. Because again, now let's be real. If we knew and got wind of things, we was doing the utmost. Because that was what we cared about. The protection and that safety net. Like now, anything is allowed. It's crazy. I thought I had action. I seen feet, and then I should have realized that shit anyway. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Shoot, you know that. You know how I be at work. What? It's just no way we was allowing things to take place, especially at this magnitude. We wasn't watching elderly folks get accosted or even get robbed, assaulted, or worse. We didn't care what the situation was. You was going to be held accountable either by the law of the land or by the law itself. But you was not going to be sitting roaming around being a threat and a danger to people. Kev, what's going on, my guy? I'm telling you, it seems like we really have lost that balance and that boundary. Like, at what point do we really stand up? It is time to start being critical on it. And I'm keeping it real. Again, no child should have to worry about going to do the simplest thing and never coming back home. A parent should never have to worry about losing their child either to the streets or due to that circumstances right there. Sorry, when does it really become about caring about the right things? Nah, James, I'm due for a good old karate kick, so somebody gonna catch me. No, but you gotta realize that this is not no time to be allowing these type of games, these type of dangerous situations to continuously happen. And I've always said this, at least in my opinion, if you would allow an attack like that to happen to an elderly person, even if you don't know them, that means you would allow the same thing to happen to either your grandmother or somebody like your eldest uncles or whoever. You would allow that to happen too, right? Again, you gotta protect yourself at the gotta protect yourself at the highest level because you're gonna have situations in the world that try you and take you out of your comfort zone. But again, your children should not be the victims of circumstances. And for some people, I would say it shouldn't have to happen to you for you to actually care about something. And there's some people that, guess what? You're gonna have to guard yourself as far as the people you hang with, associate with, on any type of cylinder. Court, what's going on, baby? You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll be honest with you, like I said before, it's crazy. To think that you're allowing your children to try to come out or do the things necessary, they don't make it home. And throughout the whole day, nobody has a clue about nothing. Oh, but there's some of you who need to guard yourself about who you be around and everything else. Why? Because guess what? You never know what the situation could be, even in that notion. Almost threw something out there, but I wasn't going to throw it out there. And the reason why I'm not throwing it out there is because it would just be a scenario. At least in my opinion, you got to make sure that the people you are building a circumference with, in a safe zone with, actually mean what they say and say what they mean. And that means even riding with you when you need to ride. You know, that's one thing you're gonna have to do. And again, if the vibes ain't right, if something just don't seem right, move to where the direction is gonna be at. Move to the right direction. Like, if you really care about yourself, you need to be around people that care about themselves as well, and also stand on what they stand on. If they say they're a true friend, then guess what? They not just have to say it; they have to show that. I'm not gonna lie to you because it's too much going on right now. And actually life is too damn short to be worried about problems again, trying to go hang with people because they want you to come out, and then something happens to you, God forbid. Now, if these people say they gonna ride for you and on all accords, they should do so if something does happen. But if something doesn't happen, it still should be on go. Because again, if we all are supposed to be vibing out, should be no reason why I have to worry about that situation either, or possibly losing my life because of that. There's some people that I know probably gonna watch their peoples die. Sorry to say it, and have not avenged them one way or another, or at least try to give their family some sort of closure. And you got to be mindful of who's who, because there are some people who will tell you one thing and move the opposite direction. And you really don't want to be a victim of circumstance behind that. No doubt, Christine, appreciate you, baby. Like I said, the link is pinned in case anybody want to chime in. Just a little open discussion, but just a little bounce off. Again, start paying attention to what's going on. There's some situations you can actually walk away from too, and not have to worry about much. But it is about how you carefully execute what you need to execute. Now, again, I don't feel I said nothing wrong tonight. We know there's certain crimes and certain situations that should just never happen. And again, when they do happen, you need to start making sure these people are held accountable one way or another. You know, there's some people that actually need to stand on their word too when it comes to certain things. I'm not gonna lie to you though. Um, it is time for some sort of betterment for real. You know, again, we can't sit here and mope and complain about things not happening the way we want it to happen. We're not actually paying attention to what's going on. Kev, get your 5 second self up out of here, man. Don't come back in the club without no Timberland boots and no dance shoes. Putting you on the spot tonight. Still my brother though. You know, but this is what I'm saying though. We have to start getting back to that motion of actually caring about something outside of our own personal gains and whatever. Nah, start caring about the things that are needed. There are gonna always be people who need protection one way or another. They might not be strong enough to defend themselves the way they need to defend themselves. Again, there's certain crimes that again should never happen. And when it does happen, we need to get back to that old way of thinking. You got to be held accountable, and you will not be sitting around the people, especially if it's going to be a situation where it's uncomfortability. Nah, you got to go. You're going to have to go. And again, I want to give prayers to those who need it, especially, like I said, the ones who have gone through or are possibly going through it now. Right now, as we speak, there's somebody being kidnapped or somebody that's just walking away and never coming back home. In some situations, like I said earlier, that just be, they running away from home and escaping from whatever's going on at home. In those situations is even bad because again, no child should be in the streets at a certain time. Right now, it's about to be midnight on my end. 9 out of 10, there's some kids out and about, and they supposed to be going to school tomorrow. And this is what I'm saying. This is another reason how kids end up missing and not being where they supposed to be at. Because again, some of them are putting themselves in that danger. Some of you parents are putting your kids in that danger by not again making sure your kids is where they need to be at. Key word, some of you, not all of you. There are a lot of you who are doing what you're supposed to be doing again because that is a 24/7 job. That is a 24/7 job, whether you believe that or not. And again, for the fact that you're not even, the fact that you're not even trying to really, put that in the gear, get back to that notion of again preservation. That's the problem right now. We got to get back to that. Again, I don't feel there should be no parent having to worry about their child ever not coming home or being found years down the line. Again, that's time missing. That's time that they can't get back. And in certain instances, again, it shouldn't have to happen to you for you to actually care or to actually come back to realization that we got to start keeping the communities whole again one way or another. Especially if you still reside in this community. There's no way I can sit there and watch somebody's child just go missing in front of my eyes or something happened to that person's child and I don't say that. And some of y'all feel you don't need to say nothing because it violates whatever codes. But if you ain't living by a certain code, look, you do what's necessary. And again, some of y'all start protecting yourselves around the people you need to protect yourselves around. And some people, again, like I said, that they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. If I'm supposed to be your friend, if I'm really supposed to be your ride or die, so on and so forth, even if I'm supposed to be somewhere on that level, I ain't supposed to let something happen to you and I don't try to give you some sort of peace and closure or your family some sort of peace and closure. That's just something I wouldn't be able to live with. Maybe I think different, but hey, I'm being real. There are a lot of you who need to keep yourselves guarded, and that means even if you gotta follow your instinct on a specific day, follow it, because that could be a life changer. And some people, like I said, they won't listen to reason, even when it's a sign of warning right there. Even when it's a sign of warning right there, there's some people that won't listen to reason. When you feel something, when you feel like you don't necessarily have to do so, again, follow your instinct. It can save your life. And even if you want to go and do whatever, hey, still follow your instinct. When something don't seem right, get up out of sight. It is about preservation and protection of life at all costs, and even your own. And again, it's sickening what's coming, what's becoming of society. Like I said, I feel things are going to get worse before they get better. But when they do start getting better, we still need the numbers with us one way or another. So again, start getting back to that law of the land when you need to. There's possible reasons why things happen, right? We know that. But there's some things that should never happen. It's impossible to stop all the things, but things that we can stop, we need to start. We need to start really standing on that. Stop allowing the abuse on any angle. Stop allowing the destruction. When you know you can intervene and stop something, stop it. And that means stop the right things, not the wrong things. Again, don't throw yourself out there on a limb. If you want to throw yourself out there because it's the right reason to do it. And again, gotta remember that part. In order to try to at least even it out and balance the numbers out, gotta be real about it. You're gonna have to really start paying attention. I'm sorry, but nobody should have to be going through an anniversary of missing a child. Again, parents, start getting more in tune and more on board with what you need to. Telling you, it's going to be critical to do so. The more that we see, the more it's going to get worse. The more we allow, the more it's going to get worse. And the more suffering. We don't need no more suffering. We suffered enough. There are going to be things that, again, you should be more on go for. Go for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. Start going to these meetings. Start being a part of the activities that need to be a part of, because those can start the changes again. Start bringing back that safety net, building and structure up from the core up. Start looking at all the different factors. I think the worst feeling, in my opinion, is when a child go missing. Not so much as just in their neighborhood, go missing from their school, anything along those lines. We've had situations like that too. Supposed to be safe when you are going to these establishments. Kids are supposed to be safe when they go into these establishments, whether you could be with them or not. Should never be a situation of never coming home. Mostly it was just something I wanted to bounce off to the people tonight again. So brush off from earlier. Start protecting what you need to protect at all costs. You want to keep your peace of mind, you want to keep your piece of sanity. Guess what? Sometimes you're gonna have to do what's necessary to keep it that way. Keep fighting. Don't allow certain things to go over your head. And you don't underlook anything either. Not gonna hold you though. I think that's the critical problem right now is that we just we in selfish ways right now. Not all, but some of them like we are in selfish ways. You know that. Again, you shouldn't have to be a next to or kinfolk to somebody just to actually care or to at least try to make sure that that person is at least going home. Hold on a second, y'all. This nigga done broke son. Again, even when you in crowded areas, start paying attention to what's going on. And some of y'all, you're gonna have to intervene one way or another. Because again, that could possibly save yourself and save the people around you. It's a good feeling to start doing the right things when needed. Again, you're gonna have people who are gonna bring you some sort of real message one way or another. Now, regardless to what, like I said, I'm not no damn saint. I damn sure know I'm a sinner. Guess what? Ain't nothing getting away from the message at hand. These are messages that again we are gonna need and continue to have. At least until we get to some sort of ground again of healing. And even these people who have been victims of losing family members in certain situations, they need to heal. See, I ain't gonna hold y'all on that. Definitely. Um, just want to finish this brush off earlier. Um, Again, don't make no misjudgments on anything. Don't make any miscalculations on anything, especially when it comes to again just following your gut. And again, those prayers are going out to those who need it. Because again, right now as we speak, somebody is not going home to their family or not making it home safe. Parents start being more involved. And that means on all cylinders, be more involved. Start making sure that, your loved ones is making it home safe and sound. Some of y'all cannot possibly say you want your kids to be something in the future when you're not actually making sure that they are here to see the future. Don't forget that part right there. And I'm just speaking from the outside looking in. You're gonna have people that want to deter a message. You're gonna have people that want to make their insights on things. And guess what? That's just on them. Nothing is more clear than what I was saying tonight. Again, you have to start protecting your peace and guarding yourself. So if you have to take the calculated necessary steps to do so, do it. You want a safer existence. You want at least a safer tomorrow, a safer thought. Do what's necessary. And again, start knowing thy neighbor. Didi, what's going on, baby? Definitely start protecting the most precious things around you. The youth, whether they yours or not, should be one of them. Because again, they can be the future game changers. But how will you ever know? Yeah. Now you know what's crazy again? The crazy part about it all, what I was just saying about that story earlier is that again, 16 years old. You still ain't even smell and experience life yet. And the life that you about to smell and experience ain't gonna be one that you gonna be good with. Not gonna be happy with. So, like I just spoke to someone like somebody going to jail tonight. Again, protect yourself at all costs. And again, that's even down to you. Start protecting yourselves in the right form. Like learn what's necessary so you can keep yourself out of necessary danger. Again, you might not like what's being said. Might not like the fact I'm the one that's saying it. There's some things you really need to accept. And again, before I get up out of here, I would advise a lot of you parents again to really start checking into your communities, whatever communities you are about to be a part of. Make sure you really knowing thy neighbor. I don't care if you build a strong bond with them or if you just, it is what it is. But you should know who's who. Because there should be no reason why there was certain situations, again, where people have gone missing and they was right within the community and nobody paid attention or did anything. We was technically in tune with those type of things. We need to get back to that. And there are going to be certain situations where people are just going to need professional counseling and everything. And you think there is a situation or you are around a situation like that, yes, you are supposed to make sure you're getting somebody the help that they need and that they deserve. And that's exactly if they are willing to accept that help. Again, that's who I'm speaking to. This message might not be for everybody. Like I said, I'm always going to give you a fair balance. I'm always going to give you a great conversation. I'm willing to have uncomfortable ones if it's going to lead to where it need to lead to. It is solely about the message. The message is bigger than anything else. Again, you're gonna get hatred, gonna get stupidity, ignorance. You're gonna get a lot of that for people that just want to make something of themselves over somebody else's expense. But at some point, remember, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So keeping it as humble as you need to keep it, trust me. This is what you're gonna deal with, but you know how to block it, you know how to move away from it. And you definitely know how to shut it down when you need to shut it down. See, when it comes to a talk like this, I'm gonna do it. If I feel you're gonna be a problem one way or another, then I'm gonna be the disturbance. It won't be you. Whether you like it or not, you can't say anything that I've said and brought to this content wasn't what it was. A soul look at what the hell is going on in our society and why it's always going to continue to be an uprising problem and things. The world doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but it should be a little bit more safer than what it is. That's just from the outside looking in, my view and opinion on it. Again, you don't have to like it. The message ain't for you then. You can't accept the message. It definitely ain't for you. Sorry to put it that way. But there are some people who never get the gist or the point. The message will and always will be bigger than. And if you're gonna tell me that it's cool for you to allow somebody to be harmed in any way, shape, or form, what does that really say about your character? something that you should really think about for the night. And again, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. The link is still pinned, but if not, I ain't gonna hold y'all all night. Definitely just wanted to finish this dust off from earlier and just brush on a few things. And I'll most likely be back tomorrow for the safe. If it ain't in the morning, we definitely gonna be back in the early afternoon. Always a blessing to bring sun to the people, and this is what I'm gonna continue to do, and this is what we're gonna continue to keep doing. Bring in what we need to bring and build in at the right state. Well, definitely appreciate y'all. I'm gonna definitely see some of y'all in the streets. I see I got a few notifications and a few things to look at. Shout outs to everybody that's definitely been a part of the build, still being a part of the build. Y'all, the most important thing, and we're gonna keep building. These discussions will continue one way or another. No matter what the critics say, ain't about you. It's about what's truth right now. Truth of the matter is, we definitely need to do better. With that being said, I'll definitely see y'all in the streets. It was a blessing as always. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay game. Shout outs to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. And that's all I'm going to do is give you real topics and real builds. Oh, I was going to be, I was going to be extremely, extremely disrespectful. But I'm going to do that on another night. I got a nice little fun little gesture. For just a few people, though. We going to have fun with it. You know how we do it. Look at baby Rufus. Look at baby Rufus. Oh, don't worry. It wasn't going to be nothing crazy. Just know baby Rufus up here was involved in this. That's it. Nah, this is what we're going to keep doing, y'all. But y'all definitely have a safe one. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. And until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.